Quick all video time. I have got 8 comics here. It was meant to be 9, but I got a refund because the seller didn't have that issue. I was gonna say that it's quite a diverse smattering of comics, but it's not really. It's mostly excellent men, and then 3 comics that begin with the letter F. Cables, issue 1 and 2. I now have every issue of Cables all the way up to issue 70. I avoided the first few issues because they are set in Cables' future, but mainly I fucking cannot abide by this terrible hairdo that they gave Cables. He has got a ponytail, and he has shaved the sides, so he looks like he's balding, but he's kept it on top, and he has a terrible goatee. And on this cover, he looks like he's been on the sunbed for far too long. First issue cover is shiny gold bits, as well as a wraparound. Look, it's all of the Cables and Excellent Force supporting characters that nobody cares about. I don't even know this one's name. Or this one. I think this one's called Jenk Shot or something like that. And these were bought for completionist's sake. I did a video on it. There is a comic called Captain America the Legend, which came out in 1996, and it is like one of the most important things in my life. Well, here is Fantastic Force the Legend, which is sure to be nowhere near as important to me. I quite like this team shot on the cover, even with, and maybe especially with, the off-model decision to give Hume on Fire blue gloves. Has that ever been seen elsewhere? There's something oddly aesthetically pleasing about that. If you didn't see my video on Captain America the Legend, this is really more of a magazine, kind of like an assortment of random bits and bobs, like family trees, a list of supporting characters, a timeline noting important milestones and issues. Very quickly skips over Steve Engletine's run. We have a quiz here, which I am sure to pass with flying colours. Maybe that could be a weekend video for next week. Me doing this quiz. Fantastic Force's most fearsome foes. And at the back we have the lamest foes. And yeah, I agree with all of these. But I would also throw in some of Tom Falcon's pretty bad ones. Some of this, not all of it, but some of it, is by Marky Mark G. And that is why I got it. He also does some bits for the 4 one. I don't know if he does any for the Iron Man one. But yeah, that's why I got this. Some of the last stuff he did before he died. I am looking forward to having a read of this, but it obviously will never mean as much to me as Captain America the Legend did. We have 2, meant to be 3, issues of The Flask. This is issue 27 and 29. Now I have all that immediately needs filling. And here is the actual full story of Wolfman Blood Hungry. I will review this since I did the first half of the story And for the bits that I have already gone over, I have other stuff to say about specifically these ads, graphic novel printings. I actually wanted to say it in the review of that one shot that didn't even have the full story in it. But now this will be the perfect chance to actually talk about it, because this printing does what I want to talk about. Didn't like the cover. Well, I like off the cover. I think Cypher, he is good. Maybe it's just my strange attraction to this character's design. I don't know what it is, just cosmetically something appealing about but I fucking hate that wolf, man. That is exactly what I didn't want the interior artwork to become. Extra Factors 49. And there we have it. I have got all the issues of Extra Factors that I want. I would call it a complete run, but it isn't. I didn't have issues 1, 2, 3 or 4, as well as issues 65, 66, 67, 68, 69? 69. Well, 69... I have got issue 69 because it's part of the Shadow Man story. 69. Maybe to compensate for those issues that I didn't have and didn't want, here is Iron Man Annual 8, guest starring Extra Factors, with a cover by Simon Waltonson. This one isn't the easiest to find. It's a bit sparse. It is written by Bob Patrick Harris, who also writes Extra Factors Annual 2, and of course was editor on a lot of the Excellent Men books. And I know about this one because it brings in a lot of disparate plot elements. We've got Project Cadmus, we have got Extra Factors, obviously, and the plot revolves around a really minor Fantastic Force character. He was in like one issue of Fantastic Force called Willie Evans. Get the fucking Ankies ready because he does a die at the end. So that is my all. It's 8 comics. I rate my comic book collection 7 comics up, because this one isn't really a comic, and arguably this one is a graphic novel. So now we are straight back to the problem where this is 6 comics. But it's okay because I briefly got out Extra Factors 69, which I wasn't sure I had, so let's count that as part of this all. 69. So I can say I rate my comic book collection 7 comics up.